Hey everyone, Leo with the Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our Ghost Treat Tote. Now we just got done releasing our Spooky Time SVG bundle. I'm very excited at how many of you have already made the pieces. I think a lot of us have been quietly and anxiously waiting for the Halloween season. I know I have. So today we have a very quick little freebie. For those of you that are new to Dreaming Tree, these are wonderful to start off on, to kind of get a feel for the process as far as cutting out, assembling, picking colors. If you can make this, you can literally make anything on the site because, of course, we offer assembly videos for everything. So anyway, I've got the main part of the tote. You can see here it's one piece, so it's going to be very easy to assemble. And we have these little panels. Now I went ahead and just to show you a comparison here, you may not be able to see it very well, but actually I think you can. It's very subtle, especially on camera here, but you can see the one I'm holding in my left hand has got some green ink on it. It's actually a chalk-based ink that I used because of how shiny this paper was, and I feel like it didn't have a lot of texture for the dye ink to grab onto, so I used the chalk. And here is the one without it. You can see how the very edges here well, they just look a little plain. They're kind of more crisp, where here you see a little bit of that ink showing up, especially on the green part. It may not show up as much on the black. If you could actually see it through my eyes, you would see it a little bit, but it shows you the little bit of difference that it generates when you put a little bit of ink onto your pieces. So while this piece is flat, we're going to take these panels and apply them while they're flat. It's just a lot easier to work on these while everything is nice and flat. Now this is going to go dead center here on this section. So what I mean by that is that you want to make sure that you maintain an even border around it. Okay, you'll see when I fold it here, there's also a border there. So we'll do that to the other side as well. These sides stay blank. There are no panels for those sides. So we'll get our glue on this section here. Very simple. And again, maintain a nice even border. Okay, so that's that. And next, you'll notice that on these side pieces here, we have a series of tabs. And these tabs are going to get glued to this section here. Okay, so let's begin doing that. I'm using my larger bottle today because I didn't feel like filling up a small one. So it's a little bit heavier, but just like any tool and any good artist, you just have to get used to your tool. Okay, so I'm applying it to the tab, and then I'm taking my finger and just kind of brushing it with my finger, bringing it out to the very edge of that tab, and also thinning it out, which speeds up the drying time. Okay, so we're just kind of putting that right up against that tab, this front piece. Okay, and there's a couple ways you can do this now. You can do this side next if we want. So let's do that, same thing, just apply the glue to that tab. And I always like to brush that out to the edge. Okay, wipe your finger off. It helps to have a damp towel or a damp sponge, in my case, that you can just wipe your finger off on in between sections. Okay, so we'll move on to this side here. We'll get our glue in place. Okay, and I'm going to do both of these at the same time. You can do one at a time if you'd like. And I'll spread that glue out. You can also kind of use a little dabbing motion. And of course, try not to touch or rotate or move your piece with this finger. You can use these other fingers to kind of navigate. And if you need this finger, just wipe it off. Okay, let's get that lined up, nice and accurate. Press that into place, go to the other side while that glue is nice and tacky, and press that into place. Okay, you can put that down on your surface, then press down on the tabs from the inside to really help push that glue into the fibers of the paper, those little nooks and crannies. Okay, so we've got that connected, everything looks great. Now on the side of this, we're adding a little ghost here. Okay, and it's made up of these two pieces. We've got two. And they kind of, well, they're mirrored. Okay, you can put one on one side, one on the other side. And again, I don't know if you can tell, but you can kind of see the turquoise ink that I added to the edges of the ghost on the right. Not on the left, but on the right. And that, again, gives it a nice eerie look. Now for Halloween, you can use little blues. You can maybe use a lime green. I mean, maybe even a purple. I don't know if I would use, I guess you could use a nice deep orange. I mean, I think with Halloween, pretty much anything goes. So don't be shy don't be afraid to experiment. Okay, so we're gonna pop that right onto the shadow layer, the black piece, and just press that down into place. Make sure you get that lined up as accurately as you can. Okay, there we go. And you're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And then we just have a quick little handle that we're gonna put together. Now this is actually, I wouldn't call it intermediate type of crafting, but this is where we kind of get into shaping paper a little bit more. Just because of the nature of paper and the nature of the glue. And because we're trying to take something flat and fibrous and kind of shape it and make it round, there's a few little things that help in that process. Now with this, you can glue this down flat. If you want to give this a little extra dimension, you just put a little foam square, or if you have a 3D Zot, or whatever it is that you use to kind of create dimension, you can use that instead of glue to adhere the ghost to the side of the box here. Okay, and we roughly want him on his body a little bit down here, so his arms are just above the lid there. That looks really cool. Okay, so we'll do the same thing to the other side and just try to get them aligned roughly at the same height. Make sure the ghost is nice and centered. Okay, so you can see the difference there. No ink and a little bit of ink. I think it'll show up more in the photo. Okay, so now let's take a look at the little handle. Very simple, but here's a little trick that I was going to show you. Grab a dowel. This is a 3/8 inch dowel, and just hold it in one hand. Put the handle between the dowel and your finger. Turn it about 45 degrees, so you can see this is flat. Put it right here, turn it 45 degrees, and just run the dowel through. And you can see what that does. It takes and stretches the fibers of the paper and converts it into that shape. And that is a lot easier to work with when you have to glue two layers on top of each other to create this effect. Okay, well, I'm still actually toying with the idea of maybe inking the orange piece, but it's not necessary. All right, so let's get this in place. We're gonna put our glue on the patterned version here, or the patterned section of this handle. And we're gonna glue that to the top of the bright orange part of the handle. Okay, and we wanna I'm gonna actually flatten this out for now. Those fibers in that paper, they're gonna remember that, and they're gonna snap back to wherever they were just a second ago. But I'm doing this flat because it's a lot easier to get this aligned when it's flat. We want to get that nice and centered on this piece. And now, while it's drying, snap it back into that position. Okay, and you can see how it remembered to go there. Okay, now once we have that in place, just continue to kind of press that top layer down onto the bottom layer. And that is how you do it. And once that glue dries, this handle will be more rigid and kind of stiff and almost permanently in this position, because all that glue is kind of, it's in that shape now. All right, so last step here, you'll notice on the inside here, your machine actually cut a series of little score marks. Okay, there's one specifically right about here. I'll actually draw it in so you can see it. Since I'm gonna put candy in this, no one's really gonna see this when I photograph it, but it's roughly right about, let me just get that on there, right about there. Okay, you can see that little dot there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue the handle down to that section right there. Okay, so what I would suggest doing is probably just putting glue on just maybe just a 1/4 inch of the handle at the bottom, like that. Okay, and then just line it up. You can do this flat. It'd probably be easier if you didn't have it pop dotted, but it should be fine, at least initially, just to get it in place. And when you have it in place, take a look at it and just make sure that you have it centered. There's still time to kind of give it a nudge. Make sure it's centered and make sure that it's kind of going straight up and down. If it's off a little bit, not a big deal. Remember, it is Halloween. So if things are slightly crooked or imperfect, no one's going to notice. That rule probably could apply to almost any holiday. Pardon me real quick while I find my little score mark. Okay, and just trying to make sure that that is centered and nice and straight up and down, and just press that down and hold it down until it fully sets. Okay, but that's really it for this cute little tote. And now all you have to do, it's actually really cute. All that's left to do is fill it up with candy. I could see maybe these could be used to hand out, extra special treats for the trick-or-treaters that really put some effort into their costumes this year. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment and visit our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, hit the bell so that you get notifications anytime we release a new product. And if you make this or anything from our Spooky Time bundle, I would love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Group, or you can type in this little URL here that you see at the bottom. But happy almost Halloween. We still got a while, actually. It's only September, but as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and also please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where we have over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly videos. I look forward to crafting with you soon.